Well, how's everybody doing? I haven't done any videos for a while. The main reason for that is I've been doing a lot of Twitch streaming lately. But unfortunately, I had a bad situation happen, which I basically got suspended for 7 days. Now, it was the fact I admit truthfully, I was a little bit drunk at the time when it came down to it. Okay, I was drunk, sure, but at the time, I didn't realize that the link the person provided me on on YouTube was actually it had slightly sexual content or sexualized content in general. So it was kind of that was against the TOS for specifically for uh, Twitch, and I'm like, like I mean at the time I didn't realize it was happening. I reposted the link twice because I didn't realize what it was, and I actually thought it was a different link, in all honesty. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, for fuck's sake, and it got me really pissed off, to be honest. I've actually already told the guy. Well, I don't even know who it was who actually posted the link. Actually, I sort of do, but I can't remember the exact name. But if I can get the person's name who was there in the last chat, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. I don't know exactly who posted it, but I'm pretty sure there was most likely some asshole. And I mean, to be honest, I've just gone fuck them. They can go fuck themselves as a personal preference point. Aside from that factor, I couldn't really do much about that. Unfortunately, I didn't realize it was inappropriate content at the time. If I'd known, I wouldn't have clicked on it in the first place. It said slow mo owl, as in like an actual owl, an animal owl, and I had no idea what the hell was going on with it. So yeah, no idea what the content was at the time. I clicked the video. I initially ran it on my screen, and I didn't realize it was actually something inappropriate. Now that I know that it's something inappropriate, and I know for a fact that it was, I'm kind of pissed with myself for I clicked it twice. Mind you, I was fairly drunk, so I was all over the place with some stuff I was doing on stream. But I wasn't that drunk. I mean, I was overly drunk. But normally what I do, if I see like an actual link to something that's I believe is pornographic or something along those lines, most cases, I will uh, I will always make sure that I don't post it. I'll make that a rule. I always make it a rule, especially these days. Like it's just fucking ridiculous. I didn't think it was actually possible to get some type of porn on Facebook. Not Facebook. No, it's easy to get fucking porn on Facebook, but YouTube, most of the time, YouTube the videos are down within hours, and you don't see them. You rarely see them. That's my point. So I'm kind of like, what the fuck? I'm trying to figure out how this person did it. Like, it had a strange name. It was Slow Mo Owl, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. I looked at the name, and like the name seemed innocent enough at the time. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. I'll just click this, and yeah, apparently it was something dodgy. So little did I know. Now I'm gonna sort of not blame myself for that one because I didn't know what it was at the time. Hold on a second, let me just put my. So I'm just gonna open in this sugar at the moment. Um, so yeah, I was kind of pissy with the fact that that content got onto my channel. I got onto my not my YouTube channel because my YouTube channel is fine, but it got onto my Twitch channel. And it's only a couple of times that things like that have happened in the past. Some things I've been a bit stupid, and I've said a couple of things on my channel I didn't mean to say. It was inappropriate words. I was well aware of that. But I mean, aside from that, that I did not mean to happen at all. Like in all honesty, I didn't mean that to actually happen, or that for that content to come on screen. At the time, it did, and yeah, I'm kind of shitty at the person because he's a complete asshole. He's a prick. And go fuck himself, to be honest. And I'm kind of shitty with the fact that he decided to fucking type my channel specifically because I'm trying to revamp my channel at the moment. Anyway, that's what happened with Twitch. I was suspended for 7 days, which, you know what, I think is fair on them because it's sexualized content. If it's anything like those or along those lines, they pretty much ban it. Or they don't ban it, but they'll suspend you for so long, which they only gave me 7 day suspension. I'm not going to gripe about 7 days. I'm going to gripe more about the fact of the arsehole in the first place who made me, who didn't necessarily make me click the link, but at the time I thought it was a safe link to click, in all honesty. And that's the thing that got me the most, is that it didn't look like it was dodgy at first, when you first viewed it. And yeah, that was kind of the frustrating part there. Oh crap, hold on a second. Fuck's sake. Seriously? Rotate device. I hate when that fucking happens. Oh, man. Sorry. I didn't realise that I had an old cap. An old cap for my Sorry. I do apologise. Fucking frustrating. Assholes of things. I didn't realise that it was content that was dodgy. If I'd realised that, I wouldn't have clicked it at all. Wouldn't even gone near it with a typical poll. And typically I know when something is dodgy. That's my point. I typically know. So I pick up on it pretty quick. But it was hard to pick up. It basically said Slow-Mo Owl was the name of the video. And it was definitely pornographic, or sort of, yeah, pretty reasonably pornographic material. How it got on YouTube, it was banned like probably about 24 hours later or something after initial upload, I guess. And yeah, fuck me. I fucking hate people. People fucking rancid assholes. It's a problem in this fucking world. A lot of rancid dickheads out there who seem to fucking want to fuck with people, and it shits me to tears. Absolutely shits me. Fucking annoying as fuck, you know, like, it kind of gets me that people have to be that assholic in the first place to actually make up content that goes on YouTube or, you know, an innocent site in the first place and actually make it that way. I mean, you know, there's a proper place for pornographic material. I've always said that. I mean, you know, there's Pornhub or whatever you want to do, Pornhub or whatever, doesn't matter. My point is there's a place for pornographic material, and there should always be a place for pornographic material, and it's not YouTube or Twitch. And the thing that I don't understand is why this person would send me the link, firstly. I mean, okay, at the end of it, I think it was primarily to troll me and fuck with my channel, and I'm kind of like, yeah, fuck you. Like, that's what I want to say to this person. Rotate my finger and go, fuck yourself, pretty much. And that's pretty much how I feel about this shit, and I just want to strangle him. I want to carve his throat open, just cut his throat open and make him watch him bleed out. That'd be nice. But my point is, dealing with those types of people can be hard. And, you know, sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. I know I've got 7 days suspension, which I don't think I deserved, because I didn't realise it was pornographic material in the first place. If I'd realised it was, I wouldn't have clicked it. But it wasn't easy to tell that it was pornographic material. That's my point. And I'm not going to show pornographic material on screen. Typically I don't anyway. I think I've only ever got done once before, but I think it was a long time ago when I was drunk. I might have clicked something inadvertently while I was drunk, but the truth of the situation is, even when I've been drunk in the past, I've been able to recognise if a video is pornographic or not. And to be honest, I think that one was a bit more deliberate because I knew what I was clicking on at the time. That one was a bit more deliberate. But the thing that I don't get, and I think that the thing that pisses me off the most, I guess, is that how can it be on sites like YouTube and stuff like that? Like, you know, I didn't actually think it was possible to get porn on YouTube. I didn't think. No, I'll be honest. I've seen lots of porn on Pornhub and other porn and pornographic sites, but I've never ever seen porn on. Well, it wasn't exactly pornographic. It was more of like an image of like a 1 minute video or so many second video, like 30-second video or something. And I mean, you know, it's still 30 seconds, but it still counts towards the TOS. So I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, fucking dickheads. Like I said, very frustrating. Anyway, I had that to deal with. So I got 7 days suspension, which, you know, that's fine. 7 days. I don't mind waiting 7 days to get back onto my account. Doesn't bother me too much, but it does annoy me that it did come down to that and there was issues with it and stuff like that. And you know what, to be honest, I think it's the actual person who, what shits me the most, I guess, is that the person who reported me was probably the same person who sent the fucking video. And that shits me. Oh man, that pisses me off. That I just want to fucking strangle the cunt and fucking put a knife through his fucking chest. That'd be nice. That's what I want to fucking do. I'm a little psychotic, I admit that, but you know what? Nobody watches my shit for the fact that I'm not a little bit psychotic sometimes. The point that I'm trying to make is that I got pissed off with that. Like, just to do that to someone? Really? Is that all you've anything you've got time for in your fucking life? Like, seriously? Do you seriously spend your entire life just going on the internet, randomly posting, whether it's a video like that or another video common to that or something like that, and make it, disguise the video firstly, because I didn't even know what the fucking video was. And that's the thing that caught me off guard. It was well disguised. So, fuck man, just what the fuck? So yeah, it honestly pissed me off. It really did. Not just pissing me off, but getting me in the sense that, okay, firstly, I had to recreate my Twitch channel a while back, and it absolutely pissed me off to no end. But I lost my original channel that I had, which I think was Fallen 1949 or something, which was my original channel that I had a long time ago. And then I created the new one, which was Fallen Gaming 949, which, as I said, it's only had a strike, I think one strike, maybe once before. But look, at this point in time, they gave me a 7-day suspension. I'm happy with that because at least I didn't lose my fucking channel on Twitch. And I had gained like 72 fucking followers, you know what I mean? I had got a fair amount of followers out of it as well. Not from the images and stuff, but just from me streaming over the last few weeks and everything else and being on Twitch on a regular basis, stuff along those lines. And yeah, just gave me the shits to be truthful, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, nobody's perfect, but the truth of the situation is, I guess I got a little pissed off because I was trying to get my channel more recognized on Twitch. I was trying to get stuff more recognized on Twitch. And it was just such a fucking pain in the ass. I mean, I know I'm recognized on YouTube. I got 188 subscribers on YouTube. That's not the issue. I just didn't have that. I needed to gain more subscribers and more followers on, not subscribers so much, but followers on fucking Twitch to actually get my numbers up so I could get for affiliate and everything else. So, I'd have partner or affiliate or whatever, and that's the fucking point. Just shit me. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck is going on with some of these cunts? It's just the way the way I was treated was ridiculous. That's the thing. I just don't get it personally. I really don't. It's pissing me off to no end. Anyway, what has happened in my life recently, aside from that but that suspension of my account, my Twitch account. Everything else has been okay in my life, reasonably okay. I actually got a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, which, to be honest, was very frustrating. I mean, the honest truth of the situation is I probably would have got it regardless of the situation, mainly because my mum was genetically predispositioned to it anyway. So, yes, the factor of me carrying a bit of extra weight and stuff probably didn't help the situation, but I mean, at the end of it, I could have been exercising and doing all the right things, and I probably may have still got it. So it was a predestined or predetermined thing in the sense that my mum had it, so it was a distinct possibility I was going to get it anyway. So I got type 2 diabetes, which at the moment I'm taking basic very low dose of medication to keep my blood sugar levels stable and things like that. I'm taking because I basically came up with two things, which was type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol, which was the two things that my doctor looked at and he said, well, okay, look, these aren't looking good. Can we get these down? And pretty much not just that, but looking at the rates and because I looked it all up online and everything else, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. This is what causes high cholesterol, certain types of food. I mean, at the end of it, I was eating a lot of foods, but the other side of it too is I found out if you've had type 2 diabetes for a while, it can actually add to your bad cholesterol without you realizing it, even if you have a lot of foods with good cholesterol in them, which is something I sort of didn't realize, but that's kind of interesting. It could have been a possibility that I had it for a while and I just didn't acknowledge it, or I wasn't really acknowledging it as much as I should by going to the doctor. Anyway, in the meantime, I've got to see a podiatrist, dietitian, diabetic educator, and a optometrist just to check my eyes and things like that and stuff like that. But I mean, my eyes haven't been too bad. My eyes are a little bit screwy in the sense that I had to get glasses for distance, which wasn't too bad. That's all right. I mean, I had to get glasses anyway. It was going to happen. I'm trying to quit smoking at the moment. I'm getting there. I've cut down to just basically having 40 cigarettes, which I was on like 50 cigarettes, buying 50 cigarettes sometimes in certain situations. To be honest, I've cut down dramatically. I've been vaping more, to be honest. And I actually found out vaping is a lot better. It's not as bad for diabetes and other conditions like that. So it's not as bad for you as, say, smoking. Smoking is way worse. So then at the moment, I'm trying to cut my cigarettes in half if I can and cut my cigarettes down. So I'm trying to do that. That's something that's a work in progress, clearly, because it's something that I need to work out. Um, I think eventually I'll try to get rid of them completely, or just switch to vaping completely, which is something I'll still probably go with because I can vape cannabis oil and I can vape which only cannabis oil and stuff like that can help with diabetes. And I was reading up a couple of different articles anyway, but I got a couple of different vape juices and everything else. I got some replacement cores for my vaporizers. Some of my vaporizers were breaking down and falling apart, which was kind of fucking frustrating. That's the reason I went back to smoking, I guess, because it was more the frustration of having to fiddle around with my fucking vaporizer on a regular basis, which was absolutely pissing me off to no end. Um, I'm still drinking from time to time. It didn't look at the end of it because I read up on it. You can still drink with diabetes, and there's no issue with drinking, so there's no problems. The other side of it too is I'm a pretty cheap drunk anyway, because regardless of the situation, most of the time I'll get drunk pretty quick. Typically with some of the meds and stuff that I'm on, because it affects the way the alcohol is absorbed and things like that. So anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is I did that. Fuck's sake, fuck off. Um, so anyway, when I first went to the doctor, I was 134 kilograms, 134.5, I believe, and now I'm 132.0 at the moment, right now. But that's because, but then when I weighed myself the day before, I was 131.5. So it varies. I'm losing weight slowly. Put it this way, I think I've almost lost about 3 kilograms from when I went in to see the doctor. That's from regular exercise, walking my dog and such, which that's something I've been doing. I've been noting that on Facebook as well. And not just that, I've been noting it for myself as well, my regular schedule stuff. I have a fitness band that I've been keeping track of my heart rate, my blood pressure, things like that. My heart rate and blood pressure have been great. But as I said, my doctor was just like, oh, okay, so your cholesterol's bad, blood sugar's not in a good place. I said, we need to get all this stuff under control and stable. And I said, yeah, all right, no problem. So I'm alright. I'm like, fair enough. So I figured I'd adjust my diet, I adjust my portion sizes, because I was always a person who would have relatively large portions in certain situations. I do eat a lot of meat. I admit that. Um, I do eat salad too, but it's probably more of a large portion towards meat, tending towards protein. But the truth of the situation is, I definitely have some bad takeaway foods from time to time. So I won't deny that there's a possibility that some of that would be related. But it's not as if, like, for example, I'm having KFC or something along those lines, McDonald's or whatever, KFC all the time and things like that. Typically, I'll have like say for example, Subway or what typically food. I mean, what typical foods do I have along certain margins? Um, Salad. I do have salad, but like sandwiches and stuff like that. But I mean, they have a fair amount of meat in them too. So I typically have a lot. Typically have a good amount of meat in them and stuff. And I like to sort of mix it around anyway. But yeah, I mean, basically anyway, I lost 3 kilos from when I went back to the doctor. He was happy with that. He could see I was exercising. He could see I was putting the effort in to lose the weight and get back down to a good weight, which would which is what I wanted to do. I've also cut a bit of like because I used to like standard soft drinks and everything else. So standard soft drinks and stuff like that I've cut out as well. I've cut out a few things. I've cut out like just basically drinks full of sugar was the thing that I think was letting me down the most. So I've cut that out. I've cut back my portion sizes. I'm exercising more, and hopefully this should alleviate some of the symptoms of the type 2 diabetes that the doctor diagnosed, and hopefully things should be back into whack anyway. But it was I think from what I got from him and what I've been reading up on so far, is that he oh hi mate, hang on. He basically said, um, we'll put you on some meds just to get things rough. I mean, I can still do the diet and exercise and everything else to get rid of this stuff, but he wanted to put me on meds because it's just a preventative measure because I smoke and everything else and things like that. And there's other risk factors like smoking. Firstly, smoking is part of it. Drinking is part of it. There's different risk factors, and of course, I mean, the other thing too is my antipsychotic medication actually can have cause effects, or can cause issues with my blood sugar levels. And it pretty. I mean, pretty much anybody who's on antipsychotic meds would know. From personal experience, they can actually fluctuate your blood sugar levels. They can make you at higher risk of type 2 diabetes. On top of that, my mum had type 2 diabetes, so I'm at higher risk because it's a genetic thing, and there's a whole bunch of fucking shit that goes on there. But anyway, from what I'm gathering from most of this stuff, he basically just said to me, we need to get you healthier. Not just that, but get you on some type of medication stuff to sort of make things a bit better. And I'm like, fair enough. So I did that, did that bunch of stuff and everything else. What else? I've basically adjusted my diet, my exercise as much as I can at the moment. Because you as a medical option, you get a dietitian, so they can look at your diet if you want to examine it a bit closer and just sort of make more incremental changes or make certain changes you want to make to it. I'm like, okay, fair enough, that's all right. I don't mind talking to a dietitian just to see if there's anything that I can do differently. The other thing too is there's probably certain foods that I'm probably going to want to, like certain vegetable foods, but vegetable based stuff that I'm gonna want to buy now. But I'm still gonna be a meat eater because, to be honest, I've always been a meat eater. But I mean, I'll probably just have more salads in certain aspects and more protein based plant stuff. I mean, yeah, I'd say that's pretty much what I'm gonna go for if I can. Sort of less, I don't know, less, from one thing, less sugar in my coffee, less standard soft drinks, which I've gone away from. I've completely stepped away, even energy drinks for that matter, because I stepped away from those. Um, what else? I'm not really having any snacks or anything like that. It's just, I mean, mostly my diet's been protein lately, and I have little bits of sugar here, but nothing major. It's just to keep my sugar levels good. But yeah, life has not been too bad. Aside from that diagnosis, I was a little bit shocked at first when I got it, but then I wasn't surprised because of the fact that my antipsychotic meds are going to affect that shit. On top of that, I am on an antidepressant, which I sort of take but sort of don't. So yeah, that's all right, man. All good. You're welcome to say hi. Drop by. I'm streaming on here because I've actually been suspended off Twitch for 7 days, and I've typically been streaming on Twitch, but I basically got suspended for 7 days off Twitch, and what actually happened initially, there was an issue with fuck. Okay, so somebody put a link up on my Twitch. I clicked it inadvertently. I looked at the link. It looked safe, but it was actually slightly pornographic. But it was a YouTube link. Ironically, it wasn't a porn. It wasn't a porn link. It didn't look like a porn link, and it said slow motion now. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, seriously, I got pissed off because I was kind of pissed off with the fucking dickhead who put the link up there in the first place. Now, admittedly, I was a bit drunk on that night, and I clicked it just because I thought it looked safe at the time, and I was just going by the look of it. I wasn't necessarily thinking, oh no, it's fine, it'll be safe. It's YouTube. I mean, typically, most of the time, you're pretty safe with YouTube with any type of pornographic stuff because most of the time it gets taken down pretty much straight away. But apparently, whatever it was, it keyed off their system, and I'm like, 7 day suspension. Fuck's sake. I'm like, seriously, I wanted to gut the guy who fucking sent me the link. Because I'm not sure whether the guy who actually was on Twitch may have reported me. I don't know whether he did report me. Maybe it's a distinct possibility. He might have been the one who ended up reporting me at the end, but if he didn't, which I'm pretty fucking sure he did, um, I'm kind of pissed. I'm really fucking pissed with him, but yeah. I just don't fucking get people's mentalities towards ruining people's channels and shit like that. Hold on a second. Where's your messages? There we go. I can see top visible live chat. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's better. Oh, fuck. I missed the chat. What? Okay. That's all right, man. Well, I hope you've been doing well. I haven't been doing too bad. I'm redesigning my YouTube channel. I'm redesigning my Twitch channel. I'm putting up new covers and logos for them, and I'm actually getting somebody to do it. I paid somebody to do it. I mean, I didn't really have the money necessarily, but I thought, fuck it, I'll redesign the logo and I'll just make it much more punchy so people will be more attracted to my channel. I don't have an issue. Well, the current artwork is from somebody that I got to do it for free, and I mean, it was okay for a while, and it was good. I mean, some of the artwork was okay, some of the artwork was, questionable. Um, but the other thing I did is rename my channel as well. It's now Fallen Gaming 949. It used to be Fallen Gaming. It used to be Fallen Computer Repair, Fallen Networking, and everything else. But I'm not associated with that. It's just Fallen Gaming 949 because I'm going for the gaming thing. That's what I'm primarily focusing on. But it will still focus on repairs as well. It'll still focus on repairs, but it'll be like a mix of videos of me game streaming, and then a mix of me repairing stuff and doing stuff and reviews on products and gaming products and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be very gamer orientated. Hopefully this should end up pretty good. I've got the actual image that I've got. Let's see. Yeah, that's all right, man. No, I had somebody do up one. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, that's all right, man. I mean, look. At the end of it, this guy approached me because he does websites as well, and he just approached me and he said, "Look, I don't mind giving you a hand and stuff, and it's not just that, like he I always feel, especially with artists or even artists or even people who develop websites, I feel you got to give them a certain amount of money. The problem is I don't necessarily have a lot of money at the moment. So I said to him, look, when my business starts taking off and gets off the ground and stuff and everything else, I don't mind giving you the money back. And that's what I said to him. And he just said, look, oh, it's cool. I can look into your stuff and see what I can do and everything else. What did he end up? The actual image that he made me is, so the logo or the actual screen in question. This is going to be my cover screen. It's still a work in progress because he needs to adjust it, but this is what's basically. Shut up, bud. This is basically what my channel art's going to look like. Yeah, that's what my channel art's going to look like, basically. So yeah, it'll be Fallen Gaming 949. Obviously, he has to add that in, but that's what my channel art's going to look like, basically. Which I thought that was actually new age. I thought it was reasonably new age anyway. So and then he had a little logo thing, a little logo as well. The logo is going to look like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, at the end of it, I don't mind his stuff. It seems pretty good so far, and I'm going to see how that channel art goes. I mean, to be honest, I might even try a couple of other people too in the meantime and test out other people's art to see which one suits my channel. It's just that I felt I needed to change my channel around a bit because it was just getting stagnant and it was standing still, basically. And that's my honest opinion about where my channel is standing at the moment. So yeah. I thought so too. I honestly thought it was cool myself. That's the thing. I thought, bugger it, at the end of it, oops, the wrong button. Yeah, at the end of it, I figured, he said he'd do that. He'd also said he'd look at my website as well, just to see how I go with that and everything else. As for my gaming channel and everything else, or my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel, I'm probably going to use that logo, I'm probably going to use the same logo for those two things. My website and my business, my actual website and business, I'm going to probably use a different logo, most likely. At this point, most likely a different logo. I don't know when that logo is going to come into effect, but I sent him a couple of emails today just to clarify a few things and just see if you could fix a few things, adjust a few things on the images and stuff. He said that's not a problem. He also does CEO work as well for Google stuff, as well. So he said he could help me with that also. But he said realistically, you've got to have this much per month to do this stuff specifically and things like that. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, fair enough, all right, okay. At the end of it, I said to him, I don't really have that much right now, but at some point, if my business were to take off a lot more, my YouTube, not just my YouTube and my Twitch, but say for example my repair business as well, because lately I've been making out more out of my repair business than I have out of my YouTube. To be honest, my YouTube's been stagnant because they killed my monetization basically. I don't have it anymore. It's just gone. I've got about 4,000 watch hours or something like that. I think it was like something like that before, but I haven't got enough. Haven't got enough subscribers. I need about 1,000 subscribers, and there's a bunch of stuff that I've got to do to get stuff in. But I've grown my Twitter a little bit. My Twitter's like, what's my Twitter? Twitter's like 869 people, I think, at the moment, which is not too bad. And I've just been growing that on my own. I've been doing that for free for a while. I haven't put any money into it. And that's my point. I know I need to put more money into this stuff, but unfortunately, I just don't have the money right now. Things have been so dead slow with my current business with just even my local repairs. Like, I quoted somebody $230 to repair a screen, to not repair, but to replace a screen. Was it yesterday, day before? And they didn't like my quote, so they never took it. I'm waiting on a job at the moment. It's supposed to give me $200 for a build or building a gaming machine, and I haven't heard back from the person. I don't know when he's. I have no idea when he's coming along, but if he does, that's cool. I mean, at the end of it, I've texted him a couple of times, but I don't know whether he's going to get back to me or not. He is an old client, so I expect him to get back to me at some point. But he wanted me to do things at a certain time parameter, and I said I couldn't do that because I wouldn't feel like I'd done the machine properly. And I said to do a proper job, I actually need I need a bit more time than what you like you were going to give me initially. Off, cunt. Fuck me, fucking sideways. Fucking pain in the ass. These stupid fucking alarms. I always set the fucking things, and I fucking forget them, and I'm like, fuck. Anyway, okay, so a couple of negatives lately. I've had some health conditions that have cropped up. I already had my previous health conditions, which I think most people on my channel already know if you've listened to any of my mental health awareness stuff, blogs. I've got schizophrenia, OCD, Asperger's, bipolar, depression, and what else? That's pretty much it in that spectrum. And now I've got type 2 diabetes, and now I've got high cholesterol, which those two things can be pretty much culled off with meds. So it's not a big issue, but at the same time, I hate taking meds, to be honest. I really hate taking meds most of the time. But I think at the end of it, maybe they were needed in this situation, to be truthful. I wasn't doing too bad on my own, but the other side of it too is, considering that I hadn't been to the doctor. I think this is a blood test I had a long time ago. This is before I went into hospital for a mental breakdown issue that I had, would have been last year before. They basically, when I went into hospital, they did some initial tests and everything else, and everything was okay, but they, what happened at the end of it is I was taking, I hadn't gone to see the doctor for about, roughly, how many years? Jeez, it was like maybe 10 or 11 years or something. Yeah, it would have been about 10 or 11 years. I hadn't been to a doctor. I hadn't had a blood test in 10 or 11 years. And considering I hadn't had a blood test in 10 or 11 years, I got the results back on the blood test. And that, it weren't actually that too bad. I'd probably have to check back on what my results were then compared to my results now. Because I'm kind of curious about that. I had a blood test from how many years ago now? That's right. Fuckery. That's a script. Scripts. I had an actual blood test a few years ago. So what was my levels a few years ago? Fuck's sake. So I'm trying to figure out if they were the same, or maybe I could take that to my doctor. So I was just thinking, is he judging me based on a blood test that I had a few years ago? No. Sydney, so I have no idea who it is. I don't answer any interstate calls typically. Ah, there it is. There it is. No, that's not it. Ah, fuck. Fucking kidding me. Fucking asshole. Cunt face. Fuck. There we go. Is that it? No, that's fucking therapy stuff. Fucking kidding me. Where the hell? I actually had a blood test and I have no idea where the fucking thing's gone. I literally had it before. Fuck. Can't. No, I'm not seeing it. So maybe I chucked it. It's a sneaky possibility that I did chuck it. Kind of annoyed if I did, because it would have given me a gauge on what I have now that my doctor's seen. It's kind of weird that I don't have a copy of it. Anyway, at one point I did have a blood test from my doctor, and when the doctor took the blood test initially, this would have been a few years ago now, he took it and he said, even after 11 years of not having a blood test, he turned around and he says to me, okay, your stuff's reasonably okay. Your cholesterol's a bit high and things like that, and it was, it wasn't too bad according to him, so, he didn't have much of an issue with it. Up until the point that I went to see my current doctor, which, as I said, he'd only done some recent blood tests and everything else and things like that. I think there's some blood work taken when I went into hospital. From what I gauged, he just said things are a little... As I said, the blood sugar was off, cholesterol was off, and he was like, okay, we need to go into preventative mode here, since he doesn't want me killing over from a heart attack or getting a stroke or something like that, or, especially with a high risk factor of smoking and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, fair enough, all right, I get that, I understand that. Which, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with anyway, but, anyway, I went through that with him, got all that stuff fixed up. Plus side is I've lost some weight, so I can't argue that. As soon as he turned around and told me that I had these conditions, I went online, looked up all the different stuff, whether it was diet, patterns of diet, things like that, what the best foods are to eat as well. Also looked up the best ways of treating this stuff naturally and pharmaceutically at the same time. I know that I'm going to take metformin, which that's okay. I mean, I get that. The end of it, it might even come to a point where I get my diet and exercise and everything else in line, and I may not necessarily need as much of that medication, or I may not need the medication at all, depending on the situation. If I can keep things under control, of course, which I don't think is going to be much of an issue. I don't think I should have much of an issue with anyway. At this point, I've worked out so far from what he's told me and what he's given me, is I just have to have a check with things. Optometrists obviously have to scan the back of my eyes just to check if there's any issues with blood vessels in the back of your eyes. And I mean, there's other risk factors. I smoke as well, so that's probably something a little bit to do with as well. What else? Optometrist, podiatrist, okay, just my feet, check the circulation, things like that. It's a simple diabetes check. Dietitian, which is somebody who just goes through my diet and sees how good my diet and how bad it is and sort of things, comparatively. I mean, at the end of it, I will try my best to stick to the diet, but I'm not going to restrict myself so much on my diet that I can't eat anything at all. Like some people just go overboard and like, I get that. I think it's more a case of portion control, like it's a case of controlling the portions you eat. It's a case of cutting the sugar down you eat as well. And it's a case of, portion control. Eating more fiber is definitely something that was included in the... but the thing is, I shit regularly. I shit every fucking day. So that's the thing. I don't think I have a major problem with fiber. But it says to have a lot of fiber in your diet, which is something that is required for diabetes to be, more efficiency and stuff in your digestive system and stuff. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. That makes sense. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know. Sorry, I was just looking for that stupid blood test. And I was just wondering if I can't even find the fucking thing, but can get. No, just thought it might have been down beside my bed, maybe. No. I don't think it's there. That's kind of sad. I wish I'd kept that so I could get a baseline on what my blood test was a few years ago now. Um, the other thing too is I'm getting older. That's the other factor. I mean, I'm 36 now, so that's the other factor. I think because I'm getting older, at a younger age, it's easy to bounce back from these things. Not just that, but at a younger age, you're more inclined to be okay in most situations. But he's just thinking about the risk factors as you age and stuff like that. Arteries hardening, cholesterol factors, all those different bits and pieces. So I'm like, all right, at the end of it, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to prevent me from getting too sick, or he's trying to prevent me from having major health issues like heart disease, for example. So at the end of it, I understand where he's coming from. The other side of it too is, um, nobody's perfect, but I am putting an effort in to trying to get my diet and exercise back to normal. I'm trying to quit the cigarettes, but that's not always easy, especially when it comes to, I honestly think, being a bit addicted to them to start with. So, I still drink alcohol and stuff, but I'm not drinking as much. I'm sort of corning it off a bit, but yeah, it's not too bad. Um, Portions are smaller. Diet's changed. Diet's changed. Exercise has come into the factor, so I'm doing exercise, which is a plus side. Um, I'm trying to reorganize my YouTube channel um, and my Twitch channel to be better with the new logos and the new cover pages and the new cover art and everything else. So hopefully that's good. Once that gets fixed up, that's good. But then I got that 7-day suspension, and that kind of piss me off. I just want to fucking slit somebody's fucking throat. Especially the fucking cunt that I had to deal with on the fucking chat, because he was being kind of a smart ass. He was putting all these emoticons in. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You're a fucking cockhead. I was drunk at the time when it happened, but I was pretty pissed with him. I'll be honest. Kind of shitted me. I just don't get people being nasty, Like, I mean, anytime I've ever been nasty in my life is when somebody's given me the absolute shits or they've used me for shit. Which that has happened a lot in my life, where I get used for shit. Whether it's free PC work or free stuff, I mean, at the end of it, I don't mind helping somebody out if they're in a real dire situation and they're actually in a situation where, it's required to be charitable and stuff. But there's definitely some people who've taken advantage of that, of my kind nature. So I definitely have to say that sometimes I have to walk away from the situation and just go, fuck it, I'm not giving you any more free shit until you fucking either pay me or typically until you pay me, because what will happen is somebody will just ask for constant free shit and constant stuff and wanting to get, whether it's constant parts or whatever, and they will expect no monetary value. They won't give you anything in return. They won't even help you with your channel or whatever. They won't even help you with anything. And that's the thing. I've had plenty of people like that through my entire fucking life. Like, in the years that I've been on the internet, I've had a lot of bad experiences with people who do that. Not everybody does do it, and I admit it's not everybody who's an asshole. There's definitely a vast majority of assholes out there. So you sort of got to watch yourself these days, because people will take advantage of your kindness if you're not. I mean, to be honest, I had to become a bit of an asshole myself, just to look after myself and look after my way of life. Because essentially most of the time, I'll be honest, I'm scraping by. Like, I honestly get, say, I just have enough to cover my bills. I don't have enough to buy any extra parts or anything like that I might need. I don't always have enough to buy extra tools or whatever I need for work or need to do projects and everything else. I'm scraping by just enough to pay my fucking phone bill, to pay my extra bills that I do online, and that's about fucking it. If I wanted anything extra, well, I mean, admittedly, I probably spend a little bit of money on cigarettes, maybe a bit of alcohol, but alcohol is pretty cheap. Cigarettes aren't always cheap, but there's plenty of other stuff, like, for example, like, I do want to get something, I actually have to take into account that I have to budget for it each month. But the truth of the situation is, when you're in the PC tech market, you shouldn't have to fucking budget, because typically computers, Like a computer, typically a build or something like that can cost upwards of $2,000. You know what I mean? And I don't know. See, something stupid that was said to me yesterday. I was looking at this fucking. It was one of these PC enthusiast forums. I'm looking. I'm thinking, okay, hold on a moment. This guy turns around. He says, "Oh," he pretty much turns around and says, "Oh, you know, um, you can't add to the price to add your eBay fees and everything else on top." Then what the fuck are you supposed to do? What do you think most businesses do? Like that's the funny part. I'm looking at him going, "What do you think most businesses do, dipshit?" They actually add their fees on top. So they add the fees from PayPal, which those are the fees you have to cover. That's my fucking point. And that has to be covered by the customer's end because those fees come from the customer, first place, from them paying into your fucking account. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, there's just some people who just don't seem to understand how business works. You just got to cover this stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm still using nicotine at the moment. I mean, to be honest, I'm not doing too bad. So, um, to be honest, I don't know whether I can go without my nicotine, truthfully. But I mean, I could probably try, I guess. But yeah, at the moment, I've got nicotine in my vape at the moment. But yeah, I definitely agree that vape is actually a lot better for you because I found out from what I've done, the research I've done, smoking's bad for diabetes, but vaping is not as bad. Or as far as from what I can tell and what I'm seeing, vaping isn't as bad. It doesn't have as much run through as cigarettes do. Cigarettes have more toxic chemicals and stuff and things like that. So yeah, there's definitely more to going on with those. But yeah, I don't know, it's just pissing me off. Like I don't know, lately a lot of things have been pissing me off a little bit. Just some of the shit that's been going on, you know. Um, I mean, well, I'll be honest. That 7 day suspension pissed the shit like pissed me off to no end. And I kind of just want to gut the person who fucking did it. To be honest, I might even end up tracking them down at the end. Like that's typically what I'll do in most cases. If something really pisses me off, I'll just track them down. But yeah, there's that. Aside from that, I don't know. There's just a couple little things that have been pissing me off. I'm trying to get things in order. My health hasn't been the greatest, but I mean, you know, that's neither here nor there. Occasionally, your health goes to shit. It just happens occasionally. But I mean, for a long period of time, my health was reasonably good. So you know, up until the point, I guess. I mean, I don't I honestly don't think it was stress. I think it was more just fucking shit that was going on in my life, generalized stuff like that, and just trying to get back into the swing of things. Because after I got out of the hospital, I was on this high dose of fucking medication. On top of that, I didn't want to be on my antipsychotic, to be honest, but I was basically forced by a court order to be on my antipsychotic, and I hate my antipsychotic, to be truthful. And I know how much it probably contributes to probably my diabetic state and everything else. But I generally hate antipsychotic medication. I generally hate antidepressants. They just fucking piss me off more than anything else. Just because of how much detrimental side effects they can have in certain circumstances, I guess. So. Oh, that's all right, man. No problem. All good. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Sleep well. That's all right, man. I'm always around. I'm always doing stuff. Bye, mate. But yeah, basically, I don't know. I mean, I've been a slight bit pissed off about some things in my life at the moment. Not everything pisses me off, but there's definitely some shit that just annoys the living crap out of me, just for the way it emphasizes certain things, you know. And yeah, it's kind of like, you know, fucking hell. I think I'm entitled to get angry to some extent because I'm entitled to get angry and a little pissed off with things, to be truthful, and that's my honest opinion. Like, especially with some of the shit that I've seen people do to each other on the internet. There's a lot of negative shit that goes around, and there's a lot of negative people out there. Um, I mean, you try your best to avoid it, and you try your best not to be pissed off with it. But the truth is, there's going to be those fucking situations where you just can't avoid being pissed off. That's honestly how I feel about a lot of that stuff. But you know what? I mean, at the end of it, I'm not too worried. I mean, okay, it was a 7 day suspension. I'm not too worried about it. But it doesn't mean that I don't get pissed off with it. It doesn't mean that I don't necessarily want to track that guy down because he was a dickhead. And it kind of pissed me off, whoever the fuck that was that posted that other stuff anyway, but fucking special people. Just shits me. Absolutely shits me. It's kind of the thing, man. It just pisses me off. There's a lot of shit that does piss me off, I'll be honest. Not everything does. I mean, I will be honest. Not everything pisses me off, and you know, I'm pretty happy most of the time. But there's definitely stuff that does piss me off and annoy me, and it gets to me to a certain extent. It doesn't overly. I mean, it more gets to me and just enrages me, to be honest. It doesn't always enrage me, but there's such situations where I definitely get angry. It's like, fuck you, fuck this shit, fuck the, you know, all the bull crap that goes on. But yeah, but I'm not inherently a person angry by nature. It's just in certain situations, I think I'm entitled to get angry. We are all entitled to get a little psychotically pissed off from time to time because of some of the shit that goes on that shouldn't go on. That shouldn't go on in our current modern society in combination of that. If you think about a lot of that shit, why is it going on? Why is it happening? And I don't feel it's right. You know, I mean, that's the thing. People just don't. They just don't seem to grasp the concept of it. Um, you know, why should we? Why shouldn't we be pissed off? Why should we be pissed off? Things like that. And the honest truth is, yeah. Anyway, what has been happening in my life so far is that I got that diagnosis. I got over the diagnosis. Um, I'm now dieting and exercising more, trying to lose weight. I'm currently working on getting my channel, my YouTube channel, and my Twitch channel updated a lot more. And I'm currently working on getting my business stuff a little more flowing, like a little bit more business flowing and things like that, because it's been really slow lately. So I have no massive amount to do. But most of my stuff's been online and been on Twitch and YouTube and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of that, you know. So I've been doing mainly Twitch lately. I've been doing a lot of Twitch streams. I'll be honest. Those Twitch streams I've enjoyed, and I've definitely had some fun with them. So you know, they're fucking awesome. And you know, I wouldn't trade them for the world. But I think there's also a lot of dipshits. There's some dip. I'm not saying everyone on Twitch is a, you know, people on Twitch are dipshits, but there's definitely some dipshits on Twitch. Same as there's some dipshits on YouTube as well. You know, like you're gonna find dipshits regardless of the situation. You're gonna find dipshits wherever you go on the fucking internet, and that's my honest opinion. At the end of it, you know, you don't understand. There's always going to be some fuckwit who's, you know, so far some fuckwit who feels the need to fuck with everybody and be a fucking retard about it. And, you know, people with dickheadedness, just fucking ridiculous. But yeah, aside from that, I haven't been too bad. I've been enjoying myself as much as I possibly can. I have been staying up late, admittedly, lately. I've just been staying up late and doing stuff and watching a bit of Netflix. I haven't watched Netflix or Stan or whatever. I've also been doing some stuff on Twitter and reposting myself on Twitter. I've been doing posts on Facebook. I've been doing posts on... I've been checking emails. I've been emailing the artist guy that I've got working on some of my stuff at the moment, and I've been emailing him back and forth. I got drunk on Friday night and had a couple of drinks, and then I came on to do a Twitch stream, and that's when I got banned. Now, here's the thing. I didn't get banned because I was drunk. I got banned because of the fact that, you know, well... Basically, there was some content that came up that was pretty much in front of my screen and stuff, and yeah, it was dodgy. Little did I realise it was dodgy. Would have been nice if it wasn't dodgy. I got a 7-day ban, which, you know, I am shitty about. Like, I honestly feel I didn't deserve it at the time. It wasn't necessarily my fault that the item in question was questionable, and I didn't know that because I looked at the title and it looked okay. And that's my point, so, yeah. Ah, fuck me. Yeah, just beautiful. Just fucking annoying. Like, seriously, it was fucking frustrating. Just having to deal with it. That's all. But look, at the end of it, unfortunately, sometimes it's going to happen. Things are going to turn to shit. Things are going to be annoying. Life's going to be a bit of a shit, and it's just going to be one of those weeks, or one of those months, or one of those days, or whatever that you just sit there and you go, for fuck's sake, really? Just yeah. Oh well. I'm not really overly worried at this point. Like, I've got that 7 day ban, 7 days not ban, 7 day suspension. So I'm just going to ride that out for the 7 days. See how I go after that. No, I think should be okay. Like, I just got to be more cautious about what I put up on stream now. Like, just more cautious in the sense that I have to know exactly what I'm putting up on stream, what I'm not putting up on stream, and that's the thing. I think the major problem that I had, I guess, was that, you know, obviously the stuff I was putting up on stream, or at the time, I didn't realize what I was putting up on stream was technically pornographic, and it just shouldn't have happened. But it happened because I didn't know what it was at the time. I just didn't realize. I honestly didn't think you could put fucking porn on YouTube. I honestly thought we got to that point where we don't have that shit on YouTube anymore. Like, I thought we, as a society, we might have got to that point. I guess not. I guess society is still a bunch of fucking retards. All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go. I might go and stream on my computer and play some games and shit. I'll see how I feel. But this is a bit of a live stream. This has just been an update on how my life's been going, what I've been doing, what I haven't been doing, my diagnosis of the stuff that's been going on in my life, and just a general update of what I'm doing with my channel. Alright, thank you, and good night. Good night. What's that do? That's not it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Exit. Are you sure?